Mississippi, as you know, was a place that everybody considered probably the worst place for black people to live as far as civil rights was concerned. Ever since the school desegregation ruling in 1954, Mississippi and a lot of the South was saying they weren't going to do it. And of course, one of the big arguments throughout the South at this time was that black guys would be trying to hang out with white girls and that sort of thing. During this period, Emmett Till came down from Chicago to visit with relatives there in Money, Mississippi. He went to this grocery store that was run by Bryant and his wife. He's supposed to have whistled at her. Bryant and his half-brother Milam were away at the time. Soon after they got back, about the 28th of August, they went out to Mose Wright's house at gunpoint. They kidnapped him and took him away. They had beaten that kid up something awful. And when they finished beating him, then they shot him in the head. Jet magazine ran a picture of it, and it traveled all over the United States and all over the world. It was one of the most gruesome pictures you ever saw. And that sort of set the stage for the trial that was going to take place. As soon as I heard about the story, I went down to Money. The first day we got there, we got to meet Sheriff H.C. Strider. He's one of those big guys who ran a plantation there. And he was one of those sheriffs who had a reputation of being able to handle black people there. And first thing he told us when we got there is there's not going to be any integration here. The white guys will sit over at this table, this press table here. We don't have a press table for you guys. I've got 4 seats out here in the audience with the blacks where you could sit. And well, it was the biggest group of black reporters I had seen at any civil rights coverage, and I had covered quite a few of them. So we had a lot of people there, and 4 seats weren't going to cut it, you know. Congressman Diggs, Charles Diggs from Detroit, had got okay from the judge to come down and be an observer at the trial. They appealed to the judge, and eventually they set up a table off to the side for us. Next thing we found out is that the sheriff, who normally would be working with the prosecutors, was working with the defense lawyers. He hadn't taken time to come up with a lot of witnesses to try to convict these guys. 3 people from the NAACP decided they were going to go out and try to scare up some witnesses. And I was going along as the pool reporter. So we changed into clothing and put on some of the kind of clothing that the people who work on the plantations down there would have been wearing. We back out in these woods trying to scare up witnesses, you know. And I got to thinking, man, you know, they don't convict white people down here for killing black people. And here we are out here looking for witnesses to try to convict somebody. And it might be a better place I could be, you know. But we did scare up a couple of witnesses. One of them, Willie Reed, was a pretty important witness in the case. He had gone by that night and heard some screaming and heard some of the noise and that kind of stuff. And he had seen Bryant come out and get water to take back into the building where they were beating up the boy. So he made a pretty good witness, but they didn't take an awful lot of time with the trial. I think that was one of the pivotal stories in the civil rights movement. I think this played a lot into the situation in Montgomery, Alabama, later that same year, when Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat so a white passenger could sit down. I don't think that would have happened the way it did unless and because of the Till case, people were really angry and upset about the situation. That was a case that shook up a lot of people. Black people decided that if this is the kind of thing they're going to do to our kids, then it's time for us to start being a little more bold in what we do and to try to get this monkey off our backs.